Very good to have you.
It's good to be with you. How are you?
I'm fine. Why did you switch back to Kevin McCarthy? I believe in the first two rounds you had voted for him. Then you voted for Congressman Jordan. Then the attention shifted to you. But what happened?
Well, essentially what's been going on here is that you've had a lot of colleagues, members here who have been in real negotiations to provide a framework on how the House is going to operate and really be the people's House going forward. First and foremost, it's been an honor to be a part of that process and those negotiations. And you have members operating in good faith. So the move today was to demonstrate good faith from the negotiating table about where we have gotten to. And I think what we have is a framework that's going to deliver real results for actually reforming the House of Representatives in the way it should be reformed to reflect the will of the American people and to get their business done. And so we still have work to do, iron out a couple things, but we want to make sure people are aware that, yes, we have been in a process that's not contentious or chaotic the way that a lot of press reports have said. It's been very deliberative, and I think it's a demonstration of what's really possible when you have members who operate in good faith to accomplish a framework and an agreement to advance the interests of the American people.
Congressman, have you spoken to former President Trump? He's a big fan of yours. He did think you were a rising star, but that now was not your moment. I think after the first round of votes, did he get to you? Did he talk to you and say, stand down, I'm for Kevin, I'd really like to see Kevin McCarthy?
No. And I have spoken with President Trump, and I do appreciate his friendship and his support of me over the years. But our conversation wasn't like that. The president was aware of some of the negotiations that were going on. And so our conversation was one about being supportive of finding a way to get to a resolution so the House can function, so that Republicans can go through the process of delivering on the promises we made on the campaign trail, so we can hold Washington and the Biden administration accountable, and also so that we can find a way to start to get our spending under control, something you talk about on your show, Neil, all the time.
So I just want to be clear, when was that conversation? I don't mean to intrude, but
I believe it was yesterday.
Okay, but that had no influence on your deciding to take yourself out of this race and in this time to throw your support to Kevin McCarthy.
No. Like I said, the members here have all been operating in good faith, and so that was a decision that was arrived to because we felt we got to a place where people were comfortable enough to say, okay, you know what, this is something that is tangible, that is real reforms here on Capitol Hill, and I actually believe it demonstrates for the American people, everybody watching, that this place should be an open and deliberative process. I think our negotiations express that.
Now, were you part of those negotiations? I mean, you were originally among those being considered for the speakership. You garnered, I believe, 19 votes at your top, and then it moved on when you, I think, had said you were not interested in becoming Speaker. Do you regret that? Do you think you could have fared better or done better had you not said that?
No. I don't regret any of that. Like I said, everything that's been happening, and it's obviously people are coming in and out of rooms, on and off the floor, votes are being tallied, and so many people are trying to figure out, like, well, what does this mean? Where are we going? And so, to just be clear with you, that was part of what was necessary to get us where we are. And I think that where we are is a much better place than when we were ending the last Congress under Nancy Pelosi.
But is Kevin McCarthy, assuming he does get the speakerships, are in a better place? Some have said that you and your colleagues who resisted him weakened him, and that these concessions that he agreed to are going to mean he could be one of the weakest speakers in American history.
Well, I really disagree with that sentiment. One of the problems in Washington is that more power has been put into the Speaker's office over the last 40 years. And so as we've gone through this process, what we've come to realize is this actually will help Kevin to be a better Speaker, and it will make the House far more effective and give the members who have been elected by their constituents the ability to actually legislate on behalf of their constituents.
But congressman-elect, any one of them, just one of them, could torpedo his speakership.
That's not true. The motion to vacate, I think that's what you're referring to, is something that has been around for 100 years, if not more, and some people deliberate on what that really means. The person who got rid of it was Nancy Pelosi before the 116th Congress. She got rid of it. And so my question and my response to you and everybody else is, if Nancy Pelosi set that rule, what makes us think that's actually good for Congress and for the American people?
But you don't think in this changed environment here, and there's a great deal of anger and antipathy between your side and this other side, and that if the speaker is deemed not to, if he becomes speaker, not doing what he had promised to do, any one of those members could go back and push to oust him, right?
I would argue that what we have here is a situation where it gives Kevin McCarthy the ability to lead us and for the members to be a part of that. A weakened speaker, quote unquote, in the vein of what some speakers have done in the past and the amount of power they've amassed, is actually not been good for Congress, and it's not been good for the American people. So I will tell you what we've needed for a long time here, and people who have been pro-Kevin or in some of these vote series voted against Kevin, the one thing they've all agreed upon, even the Democrats have agreed upon, is too much power has been given to the Speaker's office. This process brings a lot of that back to the membership. That is a good thing overall. Now, if you're talking about the political aspects of this, what I will tell you is it gives everybody the ability, including Kevin McCarthy, to be an even better speaker, because the will of the people who were sent here by their voters will be realized, as opposed to what we've seen for far too long in this town, deals that have been comprised and nobody can be a part of them.
You know, your profile has risen considerably, not bad. You're just entering your second term in Congress. In fact, you're still a congressman-elect, so it's not official yet. And a lot of people thought it was pretty bold and to go for the brass ring. Any regrets?
No regrets. I don't worry too much about that. I think that decisions have to be made when the time arrives.
Okay.
And this was a situation where there were many of my colleagues who have believed in my abilities and in my leadership, and they wanted to make that step with me. And I knew and understood where they were trying to get to, and I felt that this was the time period in order to affect real change here on Capitol Hill. Right. And I think that we have many members here who want to lead, and I just took the opportunity to do that, to arrive at a better place for the American people.
All right. Thank you very much, Congressman-elect Byron Donalds. And if this is resolved, not Congressman-elect for long. We'll have more after this.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.